in beautiful Monaco for the official launch drive of the all-new Bentley Flying Spur. Now, in traditional Bentley fashion, it's gorgeous inside and out and crafted from only the finest of materials. But the exciting part is Bentley claims it drives like a sporty Grand Tourer. It just so happens to have 4 doors and enough space in the back for full-size NBA players. We know it's gonna be sublime in the interior. We know the ride quality is going to be incredible, but is it as fun to drive as Bentley says? Well, today we're gonna find out exactly that. Under the hood of the new Flying Spur is a massive 6-liter W12 that produces an impressive 626 horsepower and get this, 664 pound-feet of torque. The crazy part is it's actually mated to an 8-speed double-clutch transmission. That's right, in the world of sports sedans moving to conventional automatics, the luxurious Bentley actually has a super quick shifting double clutch. Now, despite the fact that the car weighs 5,372 pounds, its active all-wheel drive system combined with that gobbles of torque and the double clutch means it's able to sprint from 0 to 60 in a sports car fast 3.7 seconds. Even crazier still, it goes on to reach a top speed of 207 miles an hour. That's faster than most supercars. The new Flying Spur is stunning, plain and simple. From the imposing massive front grille to the gorgeous flying bee mascot on the hood, the Flying Spur represents the ultimate in luxury and opulence. In fact, this is actually the first time since the 1950s that a flying bee mascot has been present on a Flying Spur model, and it's got some tricks up its sleeve. For instance, when you unlock the car, the flying bee mascot raises up from the hood to greet its owner, and it also illuminates at the same time. How cool is that? The front is also dominated by these massive matrix LED headlamps that look more akin to something in a Graff diamond store than something that actually belongs on a car. They're absolutely beautiful. At over 209 inches long, the Flying Spur is expansive, but thanks to some fancy tech at the rear axle in the form of rear wheel steering, maneuverability around town isn't a problem at all. The lines on this car are absolutely stunning. A special process known as superforming was used to create one of the sharpest lines in the automotive industry for the rear haunches, and it looks absolutely stunning. Now, new 21-inch wheels have been designed for the car, which are fitted here. In Mulliner driving specification, you can get 22-inch wheels. The crazy part is it's available in 17 standard colors, this one being Verdant, which in the sunlight looks stunning. But if those 17 colors aren't enough for you, there's 13 additional colors as well. The rear of the car swoops downwards in a sporty fashion. The rear taillights are even made up of bees. One of the coolest parts about the rear of the car actually is how you unlock the trunk. Simply click on the Bentley logo itself to reveal a relatively generous 14.8 cubic feet of storage. But considering the fact that the new McLaren GT actually has the same storage space, it's not that much to write home about. But part of that is taken up by this cooler that can cool your drinks, champagne, whatever you're feeling. As pretty as the exterior is, the interior is even better. It's legitimately a work of art in here in every sense. The patterns, the mixture of materials, the craftsmanship, the little details are unbelievable. Check out all the little knurled metal finishes throughout the interior, the floating clock. I mean, the design language here is on another level from basically any other sedan ever produced. And it goes down to the details you wouldn't even think of, like hiding the USB ports. Normally USB ports are exposed, but this, in the Bentley, they've hidden them under plastic flaps so it doesn't look ugly. How crazy is that? We've got these gorgeous metal paddles behind the steering wheel for that double clutch gearbox. And of course, one of my favorite parts of any Bentley interior is the triple rotating display. So here we have this analog setup of dials that will never go out of style. They look absolutely beautiful. But let's say we want it even more simplistic. So we've got this seamless piece of veneer that goes all the way from the passenger seat all the way across the dash and to the driver's seat, actually mimics the Bentley Flying Bee logo. Go ahead and press the power off on the screen here, and that will flip to a completely blank, seamless piece of veneer. Now, you can get this veneer in 8 different colors. There's even two-tone veneer available, and there's 7 different two-tone variants if you want to spruce up the interior. Speaking of sprucing up the interior, there are 15 different leather color options for the interior of this car. Just look at how beautiful the design of the seats are, the quilted leather, the perforations, the contrasted stitching, the embroidered Bentley logo. What a beautiful car. I'm actually at a loss for words here. Now, of course, the rotating display has one more function. I'm gonna go ahead and bring up the 12.3-inch touchscreen multimedia system. Super easy to use, has tons of cool functionality. One, for instance, has to do with the speaker system. So there's 3 different speaker systems available for this Bentley. The base model, then there is an upgraded Bang & Olufsen sound system, and then at the top of the line, there is a name speaker system that has 2,200 watts of power. In this car, we've got the Bang & Olufsen system, and if we go over to sound, I've never seen anything like this in a car before. Instead of controlling the tone via the bass and the treble and the mids, we've actually got this Biosonic where you can scroll around from warm tones to energetic to bright to relax, and you can actually pinch to zoom in and out, kind of like a Venn diagram between the 2 different settings. How wild is that? There's, of course, wireless charging too. You can place your phone right here. There's Apple CarPlay, night vision, a heads-up display, and also a host of safety features to make sure you and your occupants arrive to your destination safely. All right, so what's the Flying Spur actually like to drive? Let's go out on the road. Oh, yep, it's fast. Really fast. 664 pound-feet of torque is no joke, ladies and gentlemen. That gearbox shifts unbelievably fast. You know, you wouldn't expect driving a Bentley Flying Spur to be a fun experience, but I've spent the last 6 hours in this car driving all around the south of France and Monaco, and let me tell you, it's surprisingly good. So there's 4 different driving modes in the Flying Spur. The first being comfort, obviously self-explanatory. In comfort mode, it is unbelievably comfortable. It's a serene driving experience. The car feels like it floats on clouds, like you're just seamlessly rolling over bumps like they don't even exist. Then, of course, there is sport mode, which increases throttle response, stiffens up the suspension. The car actually feels really nimble. Now, part of that is due to the fact that it has all-wheel steering. It's a first for Bentley. At low speeds, the rear wheels turn in the opposite direction of the fronts to decrease the turning radius and make the car feel more nimble. The second you give the smallest inputs in the steering wheel, the car seems to turn in so quickly. It has an unbelievable level of responsiveness and cornering ability for a car of this size, and I mean that. It also has active all-wheel drive, which, cool enough, reverts completely to rear-wheel drive until it feels that it needs more traction. Because of that all-wheel drive, you can launch off the line very, very quickly. It also means it's usable in inclement weather. The third driving mode is referred to as Bentley mode, which is the ultimate combination of both comfort and sport for the optimal driving experience at all time. Then there is custom mode, where you can tailor it to your liking. If you want the steering to be in comfort mode, but you want the throttle response to be more sporty, you want the suspension to be a certain way, you can tailor it exactly to your liking. Not only do we have active all-wheel drive as well as rear-wheel steering, we also have torque vectoring by brake. So when you go quickly around a turn, it brakes the inside wheels to help you get around that turn more effectively. Altogether, all the systems work in harmony and result in a really fun driving experience. Bentley's suspension system is referred to as Bentley Dynamic Ride. It uses a 48-volt electronic system that limits and controls body roll on the fly. So it's an active suspension system that works very, very well at optimizing driver comfort, passenger comfort, as well as heightening driver engagement. When you do put this car in sport mode, especially in manual mode, and you start flicking through shifts and sending this 5,300-pound sedan through corners, it's crazy to think that a vehicle like this feels at home in canyon roads up in the Monaco hills. You just wouldn't expect it, yet it's so comfortable. It feels like it actually belongs here. The only thing you notice is, well, of course, the weight to some degree when you're slowing down.
is the seats. They're unbelievably comfortable and they're perfect for what the car is. But in terms of when you're driving really, really quickly, they don't have a ton of bolstering on the sides, so you do kind of slosh back and forth a little bit. But if you have a tight grip on the steering wheel and on those paddles, oh, this thing is fun. I have very much enjoyed my time behind the wheel of the all-new Flying Spur. It is simply stunning from the outside. That front end has this imposing, muscular, yet elegant, and it's just jaw-dropping. The amount of people, as you drive by, as you waft and roll by, that stare at the car is crazy. It gets an unbelievable amount of attention, but you're isolated from that attention because it's so quiet and serene in here. Although, despite the fact that it is quiet, you do have some decent engine note penetration into the cabin, which I very much enjoy. Then the interior is just absolutely breathtaking. The quilted leather, the 3D quilting, which is a first for the automotive industry. You've got these three-dimensional patterns on the door sills here that look like quilted leather, but they actually stick out significantly more. Really cool to the touch. Just all these little details that add up to an unbelievable interior. And then the fact that it's actually fun to drive and is this comfortable at the same time and loaded with this technology, 2 thumbs up from me. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like always, please browse the channel and subscribe. I look forward to seeing you next video.